Disclaimer before the start of this video, if you're a top 6 fan, I could not care less and you're free to click off this video because this is all about you and how lucky you've got it and that you just complain for no reason. So, if you want to watch the video, carry on, but I just hope you know, top 6 fans, I have no sympathy for you whatsoever. Enjoy the video. So this video is about why the top 6 get everything their own way, and we are going to use a very more recent incident for this reason. The only team out of these 6 that I'd say don't get their own way very often is Spurs, but to be honest, they don't win much anyways, so I don't really class them as a top 6. Anyways, it's more of a top 5, top 4 at the minute anyways, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Man U. However, the incident that happened yesterday was disgraceful and they need to fuck off basically and just get gone because I've had enough, and a lot of people have. Why was the Coventry game yesterday so good, but somehow the FA, the PGMOL have ruined it? They've absolutely ruined it. Man U were 3-0 up, absolutely cruising. Fair enough, they deserved the win. There was nothing about that. It looked like Coventry had had a nice day out, but they just could not do anything about it. But then Coventry brought it back to make it 3-3. It was an unbelievable game if anyone watched it. It was one of the best games I've ever watched in the FA Cup. It was brilliant. Then Coventry go through. Haji Wright gets the ball in an onside position, may I say, and he slots it away and Torp finishes it in. Goal, limbs, absolute limbs. People lose their heads for 2 minutes. Man U fans walk out, but what do the Man U players do? They absolutely swarm the ref. They absolutely swarm the ref. Yes, I understand why, because they're shitting themselves because they're about to get knocked out by Coventry City and they're not going to hear the end of this by the media. But if the goal happened on the other side of the pitch, that goal's given, and if a Coventry player comes up to the ref, the Coventry player's getting sent off, and the Coventry players are getting told, know your limits. But not Man U. Man U are allowed to do whatever the fuck they want because it's Man U, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and it needs to be stopped because they all swarm the ref. The ref went, oh, I need to go to VAR, and this is an absolute travesty. How on earth can you say that is offside? Not only have they not drawn the line on his actual foot, they've drawn it over his foot. That just shows you and me how much they wanted a top 6 final of a Man U and Man City. Ooh, look, it's the Manchester Derby. I can tell you now what's going to happen in the Manchester Derby. It'll be the same as last year. City will win the game 2-0. They'll score early on. Everyone will be like, ooh, this might be a good cup final. And then they'll pass, then score another. And then they'll just be so boring and just pass it around for the next 80 minutes. Honestly, Man City are the worst team to watch. I don't care what anyone says. They are so boring to watch. All they do is make teams tired by passing, and then they just open up the gaps. Yes, it works. Yes, City fans, you win through shit, but you don't go through shit now, right? You haven't got it bad. You'll win everything. You know that, except the Champions League because you bottle that nearly every year apart from last year. But this is ridiculous because we all know fine well if that was Wan-Bissaka scoring that goal and the lines were drawn like this, but he was in Haji Wright's position, we all know fine well that the goal was given and that Man U would go through. But because it's Coventry and the FA and the PGML shat themselves because it wasn't going to be a fairy tale finish for the big 6 and it wasn't going to be money grabbing because Coventry don't bring in as much money as Man U, they disallowed it. That is why they disallowed it. There's no other reason for it. You would just give the benefit of the doubt. Look at that. They haven't even drawn on the line properly. It's absolutely ridiculous. And also, another thing, why are we just making up rules as it goes along? It makes no sense whatsoever. Now, if you've seen yesterday, Onana got a yellow card in the actual time for time wasting. But then he also got a yellow card in the penalty shootout. Now, before people say, oh, it's a rule, it's a rule, it's a rule, why is Emi Martinez being banned for the next game then? Because they came out and said it wasn't an actual rule. They basically made up the rule when it happened on a Thursday night against Lille versus Aston Villa in the penalty shootout. It's a made up rule. It's not actually real. However, Onana gets a second yellow and all of a sudden there's no red card and he gets to play on. He also stepped off his line as well for the last penalty. If that went in, it would have to be retake. So why does it have to go in for it to be retake? And surely if he's off his line, he's off his line. And he'll have to retake it no matter if it goes over the bar or not. If you step off your line, that is a retake, in my opinion. And it is the rules. So I don't quite get why we're just making up rules for Man United. It's not Fergie time anymore. It's Eric Ten Hag. He's not the same. But he should have been sent off. And people are going to be, the top six fans are going to be, what are you talking about? But trust me, any other fan will know exactly what I'm on about. Look at Nottingham Forest yesterday. People are saying, oh, like, they're being babies about it. Look at Sky Sports. If Sky Sports were talking yesterday about Man U and Man U getting decisions against their way, they wouldn't care that Man U tweeted about how the fan was a Coventry fan and PGML. But since it was Forest, all of a sudden Mark Clattenburg should get rid of his job and that he should retire and that Forest are out of their way and they shouldn't be doing stuff like this. But if it was a top six club thinking about that, I guarantee you Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher would be going, I can understand why they've done that. That is totally because people need to get in their head that Sky Sports, TNT, PGML, FA, they're all linked with the top six. Everything goes through the top six. There's no care in the world for the rest of the Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two, National League North, South. There's no care in the world for them. Not a care at all. And I think it's time for a change because I'm sick of it. The Premier League and the FA can absolutely do one. The EFL, all the EFL need to do to make them actually like work is to get better referees. That's all they need. They need better referees. But the top six can fuck off to that Super League, I tell you, because there was a time about 3 years ago when the Super League got announced that we all were against it and we all said, no, it would ruin football. I don't think it would ruin football and make it much more interesting. We'd have Aston Villa and Newcastle trying for the title. You'd have teams that wouldn't normally get to the Premier League that would get to the Premier League, like a Hull City that haven't been in for about 7 years, a Middlesbrough, a Coventry City. You know, it'd be making more interesting and it wouldn't be the same stuff all the time. And the FA Cup, how it's got scrapped for replays. Yes, I understand that there's a lot of games to go by, but that saves clubs, that money saves clubs. But of course, the top six don't give a toss about it because they don't need that money. And it's absolutely ridiculous. So I say, European Super League, get them gone and just have our own league, have our own Prem, because these just ruin it for everyone. Like I say, the only team that probably don't ruin it is Spurs, but then yet again, Spurs would still find a way to bottle it if they were in the Premier League without these. They would still find a way to bottle it and probably get relegated or something because Spurs just love doing that. But I hope you can understand what I'm meaning in the frustration, not just by me, but by a lot of fans. Like I say, the EFL, all they need to do is get better refs because the refs, let's be honest, yes, refereeing it is so hard, but when you know that they're going to be on the top six side, it is so infuriating because you just know yesterday when Torp scored and the second they went to VAR, let's be honest, every fan knew fine well it was going to get disallowed because that's just what they do. They always disallow them goals. But if it was the other way around, I know it sounds like I'm a broken record, but it's so true and it needs to be addressed. They can't keep getting away with this week in, week out. Forest and Wolves have probably had about 20 points this season vanished because of stupid decisions, and 9 times out of 10 it's against the top six. So, there's your boat top six, and fuck off. Get gone. Just leave. We don't want you anymore. I'm sick of yous. Go on your little money grabbing league and have fun. You won't be complaining about the amount of games anymore because you won't be in the League Cup and you won't be in the FA Cup and you won't be in the Prem. So how about you just all go with Real Madrid, Barcelona, and the Milans and the PSGs and even the Saudi Arabia teams and just fuck off because no one wants you anymore. No one wants you. Hope you guys have enjoyed that rant. I feel like a lot of people needs to get stuff like that off their chest because that is absolutely ridiculous what is going on in our beautiful game. It's a game that was made by poor people and now it's now played by the rich. It's ridiculous. Honestly it is. The fans don't want to see this. They want to see fair. They want to see the refs making the same decisions week in, week out, and they don't want it to be changed for a certain team because they've got a certain stature or they've got a certain amount of money. Shouldn't be like that. Should be just the same for everyone, but it's not, and it never will be. But that is my thoughts on the situation. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Hope you haven't liked this kind of different new style of video. Let me know if you want to see any more. And top 6, fuck off.